Alright, I'm recording. Okay. Okay.
3, 2, 1, stop. Everyone do it?
Yep, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Ree, I'm glad I have you here because for these listeners, we've had some complaints about, like, the first few episodes of this show, A Court of Bros and Broses, that I did. I left the little parts of us trying to sync our clap in at the beginning because back when we were doing Game Busters, like, we did that a lot and people thought it was funny.
I thought it was cute. I'm sorry.
I thought it was cute. No, but, like, I got a specific complaint that, like, this is very unprofessional.
We are nothing if not
point.
professional. So,
Yeah.
I understand.
Very good. Okay, so anyway, this is a new thing we're doing. Hey, this is Nirav, everybody. I'm the host of A Court of Bros and Broses, and instead of Patrick and Joe today, I have some lovely ladies with me. I have Ree. Say hello.
Hello, hi, I'm Ree.
Awesome. I was hoping you would say howdy, but
That is my trademark. I'm sorry, I'm off
I was
brand.
trying to bait you into it, yeah. Well, that's good because nobody here knows your brand.
That's
So
true.
this is your time to establish a new one. And I have Jess, who you may know if you've seen any of the stuff I've done at Game Luster or Game Busters or any of that.
Oh, wowza.
No, that's a
gonna be my
trademark.
thing, I think.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was your... Okay, great. So, yeah. Now, for our American audiences, yes, you may be noticing I have two British women on this podcast.
I'm sorry in
no.
advance.
So, if one of you could maybe just do a different voice so that everyone can get you, like, separate you out. Maybe one of you could be, like, Irish or Scottish or something.
I think we've established from playing games together that I can't do voices.
Yeah. Jess's best impression is her saying, howdy. She's got that, like, Benedict Cumberbatch thing going on.
Yeah.
It's me, Doctor Strange.
Oh, I could do Agent 47 sounding very robotic in, like, the first Hitman game, and he was like, I would like to use the bathroom. That's how he sounded.
The bathroom.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Actually, that's good. Jess, you be American for this one.
Okay.
So
Okay.
wow. That's incredible. So,
Thanks.
yeah, what we have here, this is the first episode of Y.A.pocalypse, which is a little bonus series, a show within the show that I was wanting to put together for this for a long time. And my idea was always to start working on it, have like a few episodes, and then if we ever get to the point that we would set up a Patreon, this would be like the extra content you would get, like every other week. So this is free for right now. Enjoy it while you can, suckers. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to test this idea out where we kind of do a deep dive into breaking down like different young adult novel series and like where they came from and like what kind of impact they had on us and culture at large while we're, just kind of looking at stuff. So I have like a rough outline here, but I got tired like halfway through and then I ate some chocolate instead. So I have sort of the makings of an outline. But yeah, so what we're going to do today, this is kind of an experimental episode, and Rhea, I'm glad I have you here because Rhea is for anyone who doesn't know, when I started the Game Busters podcast like a long ass time ago in fucking 2020, so 5 years ago.
Oh my god.
I know, right? She was the one who started it with me, and we were co-hosts of that show, and so like similarly, I'm not 100% sure what this is yet, so I'm hoping that like we can kind of craft it out of like the clay that we have in front of us, like turn it into some sort of like listenable experience.
No, that's what I aim for. Listenable, tolerable, etc., etc. We're setting the bar high.
Yeah. The bar is... This is free content, okay? So everyone who's like setting a bar for us, maybe you shut the fuck up for a second and say thank you.
This is how we cultivate an audience. Just insult them before we even have them.
aggression.
It's reverse psychology.
Yeah, I'm negging them into listening more. And we're going to be doing some girl bossing today for sure, since we're talking about the Hunger Games. Girl bossing the novel. So...
What a way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so my thought was that how we would kind of break this down would be to talk about first like our experience with these books, and then kind of start with talking about the author, their influences, how they ended up writing what they did, what other stuff they've done, and then kind of what happened when the book came out, how was it received, like film adaptation, of course, the later books, and then like sales, cultural impact, and then of course Fortnite. So this is all leading to us like trying to figure out like, okay, so Fortnite at the end of this,
as everything leads down to.
Yeah, really, it's interesting. This is maybe the only thing that doesn't have a skin in Fortnite, but it is also like probably the most thing that's in it.
I was about to say, can you imagine that collab? That would have been a mental way to hype up Songbirds and Snakes.
The only better thing that could have happened is if Fortnite did a collab with the like 1993 Battle Royale Japanese novel. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, I want to actually let you guys maybe introduce yourselves a little bit more by like talking about what's your experience with reading these books, et cetera, et cetera. So actually, Ree, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, so I'm probably in the majority here of people who got into the book series after the films had started coming out. I jumped on right after the first one. I left the cinema and was like, oh god, I would have been like probably like 13-ish. When did it come out? Was it 2012? That film.
The film, I want to say, was 2012 or 2013. I was a freshman in college, so I would have been 18.
Yeah, so I was probably like 13, 14.
14, probably, yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't a big reader, to my shame, at that point. And it was really like what rejuvenated my love of it when I was in high school, and sort of only saw it as like something to do for studying. And I got through all of the books really, really quickly. And that meant that every time when the new movies came out, I was like clutching my book, looking for the inaccuracies, and but they blew me away when I was younger. The films did as well, but I think I wasn't truly appreciating it because the politics of it sort of wasn't really resonating with me back then. And I think that's because it was like it was a heavily commercialized series. Like I mean, if you weren't sort of like conscious for that, I don't think I can really overstate just how much merchandise there was, how there were always ads for something to do with it, like on TV. It was like, I was on a much lesser scale to, Harry Potter in the 2000s, but like, there was a lot of it. So that kind of encouraged me to read it like any other YA series, and sort of like be rooting for different ships and everything like that, which is valid, but like that's kind of like all I did with it. And then I kind of completely forgot about it, and then in the back of my head assumed that The Hunger Games was bad because it was something I liked when I was 13, so it must be bad. And then when I heard about Songbirds and Snakes, I read that and was like, oh, hang on, this is actually good. So I revisited the originals, and I was like, oh my god, this was actually good. Like, I don't know why I didn't appreciate this when I was a child, because I wasn't like completely ignorant of the things going on in the world, but I think it was just like we were almost encouraged to view it just as a product, which it is in many ways. I'm not going to blow smoke up his ass and say that it's like this masterpiece, but it
transcends art.
Yeah, it is, at the end of the day, but like it's more than I think people gave it credit for back in the day. When you revisit it, it holds up very, very well, movies and books.
Nice. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Jess, what about you?
Yeah, so mine was a similar experience, only I think it was out in cinema, and I didn't go and see it, but I read the book after it come out of cinema and then went to see the film, or bought the film on DVD or something. And
bought the... Okay, big spender over here. Right.
Well, I was about to get to the next point where I was reading these in the school library, and the school library only had like one copy of the series, so you had to go on a waiting list to wait for like it being your turn to read the book. So I think it actually took me like a year or so to read these. But like, yeah, it was like a similar experience where reading them at 13, I loved them because I was big into YA, but I always hated the lead characters, and I don't know, for some reason Katniss just really gelled with me. And then like I haven't reread them as an adult, but I've watched like analysis videos and like also videos just bringing up like some of the scenes in the book and everything, and it's made me realize like how dark the book was and how actually really well written it is for a YA novel. It's delved into a lot of topics that other novels wouldn't for that kind of audience. And yeah, I just think it has like a lot of good messaging as well. And I think Katniss is like a really good YA lead as well. I think she's like really like inspirational, and also Peter's like great as well. Like when you say this is like the girl boss book, I think Peter is actually the gaslight gatekeep girl boss of the book.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
I never hear about boy bossing.
No.
That's what President Snow does.
No, nice. I guess so. I actually have the distinct honor of having got in on these before it was cool. So I actually read all these books back when I was I think a senior in high school. So maybe like 2011, 2010. So I think it was like the movie was in the works but had not come out yet. And it started just like spreading around my school, like books do. People were like, hey, check this out. And I was like, shit. And then I read all of them. I think I read the first two, and I think the third one had not come out yet when I read the first two. And I sound like some sort of fucking ancient deity. Like, oh, the third Hunger Games book wasn't even out yet. But like, yeah, I got super into them. And then hilariously, my freshman year of college, I remember my school, because these books were such like a fucking fervor, there was an elective class you could take on the Hunger Games, which I did. I absolutely did. So yeah, I took a class for a semester, like analyzing and breaking down the Hunger Games. It was basically a book club for the class. Like every week we would like report in and like talk about what that section of the book, etc. Which was actually great because it was hyping me up for the movie, which came out like a little bit after that. And so, yeah, I was super sucked into those. I have, I must admit, I am a big old sucker for like dystopian apocalyptic stuff, and I always have been. But yeah, I got really sucked into it, and I was actually super like into like the whole like political struggle and upheaval, and I was like, yeah, I'm being radicalized. Let's go, baby. And then, I really was into it the whole way through. And then when the first movie came out, I remember we did the midnight premiere thing. There is a great picture somewhere on the internet, which I can probably find for you, of me cosplaying for that event, in which I was Seneca Crane, the guy with the crazy beard.
Oh, I know the picture you're talking about. That's amazing, that picture.
Yeah.
I'll see if I could like post it with this in the comment. I think I can. That supports like images. But yeah. Anyway, so I remember though when I was at the theater, this girl with a camera like walk up to me and she was like, "Hey, I'm doing like a documentary on like fanatic people about movies. Like, would you be able to talk to me?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Well, like, I mean, look at this costume. You've spent a lot of time on this." I was like, "I guess so. Yeah. I mean." I think I was just more excited about the beard than like the character.
She was like, I just dress like this anyway.
Yeah, I should have been like that. I should have been, this is my regular clothes. Sorry, no, what I should have said is, actually, these are like Indian cultural clothes. So. But like, yeah, no, I was super into it. We had a great time at the movie. And then of course I watched the rest of the movies, and I've rewatched them a few times since then. Along with like some reaction channels and stuff too, just to like kind of get new takes on them. I did reread the books actually. I want to say 2 years ago, maybe. When did the movie come out? The new one?
Was that last year?
I think it was 2023, or was it last year? Okay.
Yeah.
In the months before that movie came out, I reread the books, and I did not. But I only reread the 3 books. I didn't read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes for some
Which
reason.
Which you should.
I should, yeah. I think I have it. I don't think I ever read it. But I too, like Ree, was very surprised when I got to it, because I was like, oh, I'm sure this doesn't like really hold up, in as an adult. And I was like, oh shit, these hold up pretty well compared to like other YA stuff. Like, I'm pretty surprised. they're pretty solid, and like I think the political upheaval stuff is actually probably more like like topical now than it was back then.
Oh, infinitely so. Yeah. And also you
Yeah.
can't accuse these books of being too on the nose about it anymore, because real life is
No.
very on the nose about it.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, no, I was super into these. I loved them, and I really enjoyed the new movie as well, and all that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I do want to see, maybe I'll read this new one, the Sunrise on the Reaping. But yeah, so I was definitely a huge fan, and yeah, I think you're right, because I think it's definitely not to the same scale, but like the fervor that like Harry Potter cast over the entire world in the 2000s, like the Hunger Games basically did in the 2010s, like to a less degree, but it was like the closest it got, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, so all right, let's get into it. Let's meet the author. Hello, Suzanne. Are you on the call? I would love that. One day, my hope for this show, like the regular show, A Court of Bros and Broses, is that we can like make this big enough so that like the finale we can like actually get Sarah J. Maas on the show.
I was about to say, if you actually pulled up Suzanne Collins right now, like, I would become a 13-year-old girl again. Like, forget everything I just said about these stories actually being really deep. I would be like, how dare you kill off Finnick, you know?
That did suck. Although, like, yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I Suzanne Collins is actually quite interesting, because she was very involved with the franchise the whole way through, being that she also wrote the screenplays for the movies, which is something that does not typically happen. But you know what actually kind of gave me the sorry, you want an opposite reaction of this? Does anyone seen that movie or read the book The Fifth Wave?
No.
No.
It like popped up on Amazon Prime when I was home this weekend with my family, and we were like, all right, well, it's some sci-fi thing from 2015. It had Chloe Grace Moretz in it. Anyway, it was a very bad movie, and it was based on a bad book, but it is another YA dystopian thing. And I noticed that it was also like partially written by the author of the book, and I was like, okay, maybe he shouldn't have done that. But
I mean, if the book's bad as well, then maybe it's just being faithful, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, man. Anyway, so I think we're gonna have to do an episode on The Fifth Wave, because that movie like affected me deeply. I didn't really know writing could be that bad.
I'm surprised we're not, because the book was actually quite big when it came out. I remember it was like everywhere.
Yeah, no, it was a solid. I think it was like a solid book, and maybe all I did was read the plot summary of the book. So like, maybe you need that like flowing prose to really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's more that it came out during the height of dystopian YA literature, so just like anything went at that point.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, this girl shows up and she's got like she's special because she's not like the other girls, and she has this thing where she can like do multiple of something, but other people can't do that.
Yeah.
I was actually shocked, by the way, at how similar the plot was to Stephanie Meyer's book, The Host. Did you guys read that?
I did not go.
I didn't.
No, I was not a Stephanie Meyer girl back in the day.
I don't. Has she written anything besides Twilight and The Host? I don't think she has.
Well, she rewrote
She did
Twilight
some
from
writing
Edward's
Twilight
perspective.
books.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, she
she's-
also, I think. Sorry.
She'll continue covering Twilight until we've got like perspectives of every character in the series.
Here's the book from Rosalie's point of view. It's 7 pages long.
Here's Mike's point of view, Jess's friend at school.
I would love a Mike story, because I bet he views Edward in a pretty different lens.
Well, could you imagine like the view of just a regular student in that book, like watching this like family who all go out with each other, and then they adopt Bella as well, and then she disappears from school forever.
Yeah, but then she marries the guy when she's 18, right out of high school.
And then they have a baby
then they
together
disappear.
who is not
That
a baby.
grows in like 5 seconds.
They
yeah.
adopt like a 9-year-old child who is ostensibly their baby, and who I think she says is like her cousin's child or something.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Anyway, don't worry. We do have a Twilight episode coming up. That will be a little bit later.
Yeah, fear
We will-
not.
Fear not. I think the Twilight one's probably going to be multiple episodes. So, but yeah, let's get back to this. So Suzanne Collins, she was born in 1962, Hartford, Connecticut. Importantly, her father, Colonel Michael John Collins, which is a pretty cool name, was a U.S. Air Force officer who fought in the Korean War and Vietnam War. And her grandfather and all of her uncles also fought in both world wars as well. So she came from a very, very military family and actually moved her entire life around Europe. So she grew up most of her life in Brussels, in Belgium, actually.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. But of course, she is American. Military family, they move around a lot. Do you guys do that over there like we do? I don't know if that's just us.
Admittedly, I do not. I know of like one military family, but obviously people can correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm fairly sure the family kind of just like stays where they are. The family doesn't move with them. They get deployed, they come back. I don't think unless they move closer to like a military base, maybe. But like the country obviously is nowhere near the size as the US, so
Yeah, we have like, I think actually I'm actually pretty sure the state I'm in right now is probably about the size of your country.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So.
But, okay, well, over here, like, it's really common because our military is so big. So many people are in the military, and not just that, but, like, so many people have, like, a close friend or family member in the military. I think that's part of our, the weird patriotism we have for, like, the military here is because, like, you're not thinking about this nebulous entity. It's like every single person in the U.S. has a series of close friends and family members that are or have been in the military because it is so big.
Like, it's another like phenomena in the US, and this actually does tie into Hunger Games, so we're not going off topic.
Yeah, no, it is.
Is that I noticed that like the concept of a military family is very interesting to me. It's like it extends to the spouse, it extends to the children. They get. Am I right in saying that the spouse often gets like benefits, like discounts as well?
Yeah.
Which. Again, people correct me if I'm wrong, but like in the UK and certainly in Ireland where I am now, it doesn't seem like a thing. It is just like I haven't heard someone be described as a military family. Like I think they'd only be called that if they have multiple members in the military. It's not just like, okay, this is what your dad does, so it's going to define your entire life now. And I think that probably does speak to how big the US military is, and I think also just seeps into the Hunger Games. Because there is that emphasis on like whatever your parents do defines you, and that is obviously like sort of mandated by the capital.
Yeah, for sure. Like we over here, it's people call themselves military brats, but they basically are like kids that grew up in probably 20 to 30 different cities over the course of their childhood.
Jesus.
Because, well, the thing is that like people get deployed for certain amounts of time, but like we're not like actively deploying families to war, right? But the U.S. deploys whole families essentially to different military bases and circulates them around not just the country, but the whole world. So like I will frequently meet somebody who's like, oh yeah, I grew up for 5 years in Japan.
Oh my god.
And they're like, they've got no relation to Japan, just their dad was in the military, and that's the base he was on. So they were, they grew up on the base there for 5 years. So when people say they're a military brat, it basically means they like don't really consider anywhere specifically home. It's just like they moved around forever until they, went off on their own.
Oh God, that is a very unique thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something I hadn't thought about before, but it does feel like it's probably a mostly like uniquely American thing to grow up that way, but. Like, everyone knows people like that here.
I know, like, one person who's been in the army, like, one. I don't even know how we have people in the army, because I don't know, like, apart from that one person, I don't know anyone else.
Do they get paid over there?
Yeah.
No, they do it for the love of the game.
Well, I remember, Jess, you telling me that, like, they like, basically are paying nurses in, like, bubblegum coupons now, so...
Yeah, it's like it is a good way to get a degree if you're looking to be a nurse or like a paramedic or something, because over here, like if you want to be a nurse, you have to do like 2 years of a nurse placement, and usually it's not paid. I think you can get like scholarships and stuff. They're not scholarships, but it's like a bursary or something like that.
Like a stipend or something?
Yeah, whereas if you were to do it through the military do pay for everything.
Yeah. They do that here too, but like they basically will do it for any degree. Because it's like, you kind of like make a deal basically with the military to be like, okay, you're gonna pay for my schooling for 4 years. I'm gonna earn this degree, and then I'm gonna serve in the military following getting my degree for a minimum of X number of years.
It's really normal and not predatory at all.
It's not. It is also one of those things, because of course, you know, it does feel predatory on its surface, but at the same time, like, I have talked to many, again, it's just like over here, the difference is like we all know a lot of people who are in the military in different branches, like personally. And so like, but I've definitely talked to a lot of people who use that program, and they're like, that thing, like that was my whole life, you know, like I did that deal made my whole life, because like I would not have been able to go to college otherwise, and like I used that degree and that experience and the connections I made in the military, you know, I left and then, you know, was able to get a job doing X, Y, or Z. So like most people who have taken that like deal have been very happy about it, but of course it's like symptomatic of like a larger problem that I mean, of course, in an ideal world, we would like be able to send everybody to like higher learning education, you know, like without them having to like pay fucking $50,000 for it, you know. I think this is like a political commentary podcast.
Yeah, we've switched gears.
Of course
now.
it is. It's the Hunger Games.
Anyway, so okay, let's continue. So, but anyway, this is important because she said very specifically that like the stories that her father told her about his time in the Korean War and the Vietnam War were what influenced her depiction of like, you know, District 12 and everything. Like the idea of like the District 12 was based off of the, you know, ramshackle towns that were barely holding themselves together that her father saw in the Vietnam War, because like all their resources had been taken away for the war effort basically. But anyway, so yeah, these, let's see. So she also said that she enjoyed reading, gymnastics, and exploring the woods. So I love exploring the woods. We definitely see some of that in here. She and Shigeru Miyamoto, I guess, he also liked exploring the woods. Do you know that there's like that anecdote that comes up all the time that like Miyamoto got the idea for The Legend of Zelda because like he would just leave his house and explore the woods and like go into caves and like find stuff there.
Is you telling me that's not real?
That's real.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Because I know he got Pikmin from exploring nature, didn't he? So.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Satoshi Tajiri, the creator of Pokemon, also got the idea because he was like, well, I was out collecting bugs, and I was like, what if these aren't bugs? I was like, oh, fuck, he got me there.
I think, like,
that's good shit.
The message here is everyone needs to touch more grass, because you'll get some banging ideas.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, but that's not a bad idea. Everyone, make sure you take a walk today. And, you know, just get outside. You know, even if you want to sit on your porch or whatever, just get outside.
God, I can't imagine what I'd come up with walking around Kettering. It'd be like a horror film.
No, like a British Hunger Games, basically.
Yeah, it'd be like Train Spotting, something like that.
I'm curious about how the British Hunger Games would be different. Would they like send you guys like little like scones on little parachutes?
Well, that's a bit too bawdy. We don't deserve that. The thing is, I don't think there'd be an uprising because everyone just be like, "Oh, it is what it is," you know.
If you're one of the rich contestants, I can't remember what they're called. So what are they?
The victors?
Oh no, is it the
capital?
The ones who volunteer, unless they are just called the careers. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, they get sent an afternoon tea as their parcel.
I think that would be the thing. Is like the capital is the only place you can access tea, and that would be pretty bad. All right, so she graduated from Alabama School of Fine Arts in Birmingham. No, not your Birmingham, our Birmingham. And completed her Bachelor of Arts degree at University of Indiana Bloomington, and then did a Master in Dramatic Writing from New York University Tisch School of the Arts. So triple threat there. But yeah, she's got a Master's in Dramatic Writing, which is pretty interesting. Not a lot of authors end up doing a master's, so that was kind of notable to me. So she started working as a writer for children's television shows. I think she very famously, I don't know if you guys know this, was the head writer of a little show called Little Bear.
I did not know that. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, right? So she also wrote on other shows called, including Clarissa Explains It All, The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, and a little thing you might have heard of called Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. She actually received a Writers Guild of America nomination for co-writing the Clifford the Big Red Dog Christmas special.
So considering like the
yeah.
Hunger Games has like genetically engineered animals, like that's
Oh, no.
it was just what gave her the idea.
Oh man, they are like just massive dogs, huh? Those were actually just Clifford inspired. Huh? Wow. So has anyone read her first series of novels, Gregor the Overlander?
Nah.
No, I remember seeing them advertised
Me
at the end of
neither.
the books, and that's it. And I think, oh, I should probably check them out at some point, and then never did.
And then didn't, yeah. That was my experience too. But my brother was actually really into those, and surprising, I think he was actually reading those before the Hunger Games existed. So he was, they were like moderately successful, if I understand. But she wrote 5 of these books. Her inspiration came from Alice in Wonderland, and she was thinking about how one was more likely to fall down a manhole than a rabbit hole, and you would not find any tea parties down there.
Well,
So the underlying...
guess you're not wrong.
The Underling Chronicle. She's right. No tea parties. So it tells the story of a boy named Gregor and his adventures in Underland, which is a subterranean world located under New York City, which is inhabited by humans who traveled below hundreds of years ago, along with various giant versions of bats, cockroaches, and rats. It involves many topics related to war, including biological warfare and genocide. So she was already getting ready. This book, I saw these books were also considered to be, by a lot of people, like too quote-unquote like high level for the targeted audience. Because the targeted audience for these books was elementary school age, which was like, 7 to 10, 11 years old, right? And these books were very much like about like the horrors of genocide.
How does she keep getting away with this?
Well, you know what? I think it was a cool thing because they came out with they actually came out at the exact same time as another children's series focused on genocide. You may have heard of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I know.
Yeah, it was kind of on trend at that time.
I think that was kind of when children's authors and writers were starting to realize they could like make themes that were more, a little bit more complex than like sharing is caring, and children could follow it, Although sharing is caring, let's not forget that.
It's also the message of the Hunger Games.
I guess so.
Share the wealth.
Sharing is caring?
Yeah.
Yeah, share the wealth. That's true. Or take the wealth. I think the message is more take the wealth. But so a little fun game for you guys. Suzanne Collins' net worth was $90 million in 2018, last time it was reported, which makes her the 10th richest author alive.
God.
Do you guys? I have the list up. Would anyone like to take a guess at some of these other top 10 richest authors alive right now?
Like the richest author, or at least in the top 3, has to be her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We
Wicked
can't
Witch
even
of
say
the
her
North.
name, but we're gonna say capital H her.
Yeah.
She's actually number 2. Surprisingly, there is somebody somebody richer than her.
Okay.
Is it Stephanie Meyers?
No, it's not. She's a little lower on the list, but it's actually James Patterson,
He was going to be my next one.
who is, I think, doesn't write his books. So like maybe that's not like a good comparison.
He's just a book machine, isn't he? He just churns them out.
Well, he also has like a series of ghostwriters. Like he doesn't write his books anymore.
George R. R. Martin must be rolling in it a bit.
He's actually not, I don't think. Let me see. So let me see if you can name anyone else here while I peer through
Okay.
these.
Stephen King?
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Stephen King is number 3.
Ah.
The only ones I'm thinking of are like awful people. Like Neil Gaiman probably is.
Yeah.
He's not in the top 10. We do have Danielle Steele.
Mm-hmm.
We've got John Grisham.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Kinney, who did the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. And then I can't believe no one said this. I was hoping you'd pull it up, but E.L. James, aka
I was
50
gonna
Shades
say
of
that, but I
Grey.
thought there's no way she's in the top 10.
Nah, dude, she's number 7, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro, she's so fucking rich. She's actually worth 153 million according to this here.
Are we including that in this series? Not because it's an apocalypse book, but because of the apocalypse of the literature industry when those books like were
Is
so
that
successful.
Is that young adult though, or is it adult?
No, it's
I haven't read
definitely
them.
adult. I
Yeah.
have read them, and it's like the writing style is like a 12-year-old wrote it, but then like obviously the topic is not. It's definitely an adult book, but it's like so poorly written.
Actually, number 11 on this list is interesting. It's Dan Brown.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. He did a lot of those back in the day. And Rick Riordan coming in at number 12, so that's pretty good. Anyway, Stephanie Meyer, by the way, is 14 on here. Pick it up, Stephanie.
She just dropped another
I just,
book
like-
that could bump it up when the movie comes out.
Did she write another book?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously she said Stephanie Meyer. I was thinking of Colin. Sorry, ignore me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm curious if... Because I heard that Stephanie Meyer was doing, like, a graphic novel or something now.
She's
of
already done
Twilight
them. I
again?
was looking
Oh,
at her
no, damn it. Fuck.
bibliography earlier just to see if she's written anything else.
Yeah. On that note, actually, The Hunger Games has some crazy sales attached to it. The books, as of when The Sunrise on the Reaping came out, the books have sold 100 million copies as a franchise.
That's so big. Oh wow.
That's like a fifth of Grand Theft Auto. So
It's not bad. Not bad.
yeah. So I don't know. I was interested in that, like the games. Sorry, the games. Yeah, the Hunger Games. Was there a Hunger Games video game?
Surprisingly, to my knowledge.
Yeah, it's Fortnite.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That must be it. I'm shocked that because the first one was still like early enough that there should have been like a licensed like Xbox 360 game, you know,
Or like a really shitty Wii game, or a Wii port of the Xbox version, which is like really bad quality.
where you have to waggle the Wiimote to fire the bow.
Yeah.
There was a Minecraft game.
Like, I guarantee you, like, people in the marketing department, because, oh my god, did they exploit that series so much for everything it was
Yeah.
worth. They were definitely trying to wrap their heads around, like, how can we turn this into a video game, which is, like, at most 12 plus. And there was
I
just...
don't understand why they didn't. They could have made so much money off that.
Look, there was hey, we found one. There was one video game. It was a Facebook game called The Hunger Games Adventures, developed by Fun Tactics. And was, I don't think, well received according to what I'm reading here. But yeah, like, I guess you could like boot up Farmville alongside that or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of insane that they didn't turn that into a game though, because it's
Yeah.
like
I do think it probably is just because of the subject matter, because, like, obviously, as we've seen with other games, like, you can get away with, like, showing kids dying in film, but when when it's in a game and also you're the one doing it, even if you're playing as another kid, I just don't think that would like get past any censors, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, fair enough. So in September 2008, along with Scholastic Press, Suzanne Collins released The Hunger Games, which was the first book in the series. She said that she was inspired by the Greek myth of Theseus and the Minotaur. I didn't really like see any further information on that. Can you like connect those strings?
No, I can't. What about you, Jess?
No, I've got nothing from me.
Okay, great. Suzanne, hit me up.
Please.
Is there a quote with that? Is there like a source link where she's?
Yeah, I had a source link over here, but let me see if I can follow that up.
Does she elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, do some vamping while I find that.
I think it was just a bit like, oh, can you elaborate? She's like, no. I'm just gonna put that out there.
It kind of has the same like vibe to it as when Shigeru Miyamoto was like asked about like who is Bowser Jr.'s mother, and he points to himself, and then they're like, can you elaborate on that? And he says no. Hang on.
I mean, the only
Okay, let me
the
see
only
here.
origin story I've heard for the series is one that I would need to check if it's actually real, because it does sound like more of an urban legend, or like just sort of one of those things that get spread around. Is that she was flicking through channels on TV, and it would go between like reality TV shows and footage from for like war footage basically, and news coverage of people dying. I need to check if that's real, but that's what I heard back in the day.
Okay, I traced the call back to a video interview on scholastic.net from 2010, which is not still hosted. But I did find a summary here. So she said that her main source of inspiration was in the Greek myth of Theseus and the Minotaur. As a punishment for past crimes, Minos forces the city of Athens to sacrifice 7 youths and 7 maidens to the Minotaur, who kills them in a vast labyrinth. So so she said that was her idea for, like, the king is forcing people to send their children to get sacrificed in a game, basically.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. And that also explains that one Doctor Who episode when they're in a maze with a Minotaur as well.
Yeah. Well, what was it which doctor was that?
That was Matt Smith. They're in a hotel.
They're in a hotel with a Minotaur? I forgot this one.
Yeah, and it was like, I think it was like 7 people, and it was something to do with religion. Like, they were put in there because of their, like, beliefs or something like that. But it was like kind of like it was like something to do with what they feared most.
Huh. Alright, so she also cites the Roman gladiator games, which makes sense. So basically, this was the concept, like, powerful and ruthless government, people are fighting to the death, and the game is a source of entertainment for the people. So she also said that she became fascinated by reality television, and was imagining, like, basically, what if, these gladiator games were reality TV? So Collins says that while she was channel surfing the television on a quiet night, she saw people competing for a prize, and then she saw footage of the Iraq War, which gave her the idea.
The story was real.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah, so shout out. So George Bush directly did create the Hunger Games.
That's amazing. He's such an artist. We already knew this.
This reminded me how 9/11 resulted in Twilight.
Did it?
So even better. So 9/11 resulted in Ellen getting cancelled, but I will let Jess kick off the story there.
What?
Yeah, so 9/11 inspired My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance inspired Stephanie Meyers to make Twilight. Twilight inspired 50 Shades of Grey, which then brought Dakota Johnson to popularity and then resulted in Ellen's downfall.
Also gave us Madam Web.
Yeah.
So there we go.
And you know what? Worth it. Yeah. So of course the book was a huge hit, to the point that it actually was selling, like, just a few months after release. It had, basically by word of mouth, caught on to this huge wave of getting a lot of teenagers to read again. There was basically a notable dip in teenagers buying books between the end of Harry Potter and the beginning of the Hunger Games. And I'll admit, like, I kind of was one of those people back in high school. Like, when I was younger, I read, like, really voraciously, but, like, by the time I was in high school, like, I think I, like, read, like, once Deathly Hallows was done, I was like, all right, nice, books are finished. Like, all books. And I didn't really do a lot of reading after that until I heard about the Hunger Games and was like, oh, that's an interesting concept. I would like to find out about these kids that have to fight each other to the death. But yeah, it was also one of those things where it just resulted in, like, a massive, I don't want to say saving, but it was like a massive uptick for the literature industry as well, once this first book came out, because it immediately was within a few months, like, selling like fucking hotcakes over here. And it actually, by the time, let me see, I have a number here. But yeah, she was selling, oh yeah, there we go. The book was on USA Today's bestsellers list for 135 consecutive weeks.
Oh my god.
And by that time, by March 2012, when the movie released, the book had sold 17.5 million copies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. Like, books don't like usually sell that many copies, I guess. So, like, okay, let me say it this way. Like, if you're familiar with like video games, like, you know, if you're coming from like an indie studio or something, selling 1 million copies of a game is already pretty impressive. But like, selling 1 million copies of a book is like 10 times more impressive. Books don't really sell at the same capacity that like movies or like games or you know, TV. People don't like. I think that's probably because there are so many books. You know what I mean? And also anybody can just like make a book.
And also, like, I guess,
Yeah.
you know, it's easier to share books as well. Like, you know,
Yeah.
when
That's also true.
When I read The Hunger Games, I lent them to my siblings, you know, they didn't buy them.
That's also true. Yeah. Also,
also-
there's libraries. I just remembered.
Like,
Yeah, I was about to
resource
say the
exist.
target audience is for like teenagers, and I had access to the school's library, and we were all sharing the same set. So
I definitely did that with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire because I was reading that. I had to read that through my books, my school's library because my mom was like, "Oh, your library has it. I'm not buying that for you." And I was like, "All right, fine." And I had to put myself on a waiting list, and I think I had to wait like 8 weeks to get it. But anyway, yeah. So it won a lot of awards right off the bat. Publisher Weekly's Best Books of the Year. New York Times Notable Children's Book of 2008 award. It won the Golden Duck Award. I don't know what that is for young adult fiction, and won a 2008 Sybil Award for fantasy and science fiction books, etc., etc. The list goes on for a very long time, but it was wow. In the 2012 edition of Scholastic's Parent and Child magazine, The Hunger Games was listed as the 33rd best book for children. That feels pretty low.
And this was incredibly low. Oh my god.
yeah,
But it did win the award in that magazine for most exciting ending.
Well, that's something, I guess.
Holy shit, Jess, can we add that to the lusties for most exciting ending for video game?
yeah, but then it spoils the ending of any game that's nominated.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though.
Yeah, because you could nominate something like Firewatch. People weren't expecting that to be exciting.
Yeah. So anyway, let's just sum it up and say that it was like super popular. However, I noted that it was on the American Library Association's list of challenged books in 2010.
What does that mean?
Means that the American Library Association rated it as unsuited to the age group it's targeted at, with violence being among the reasons cited.
Oh, God.
So basically, the American Library Association was recommending that libraries not carry it, but not like banning it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that was a system.
I don't think they're doing a very good job at that.
No,
This book is
That
like
was-
torture in it.
It has some
It's like-
really dark
it's-
themes. Like, violence is honestly like
Yeah.
the least of their problems. Like, you know.
Someone gets melted in this.
I mean, I think about the part where it's like really visceral in the movies as well, when like Gale is like tied up to the whipping post and they fucking whip him 40 times.
Yeah.
And then they have to treat the infected wounds in his back to stop him from dying.
No, that stuck with me. There's obviously what happens to the victors, what the Capitol does to them. I guess for lack of a more graceful term, just pimps them out. Like, that's what stuck with me as a child. Yeah, and that is...
Oh yeah, for sure. That was something I think I didn't really like. I don't think I like comprehended all the way the first time I read them, and then like I think when I was watching the movies, especially when like Finnick was talking, he's like he makes it very clear about like basically he you know was like sex trafficked by the Capitol, right? Like, and it's like they're doing this with a lot of these people, and it's like wow, like I think that was summarized where they say like nobody ever wins the games.
Yes. No.
There's like that scene where Katniss is like waking up after being injured, and I think it's at the end of the first book, and she can hear Haymitch arguing with the staff because they want to like augment her. They want to give her bigger boobs for that purpose, and he's like fighting them off it.
Wait, when was that?
At the end of the first book.
It's like the end of the first book, yeah.
Huh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I do remember that quite vividly, actually. That messed me up as a kid, just the idea of waking up and your body has been changed like that so they can sexualize you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that committee, like, maybe needs to do
Maybe they
a
should
better
be
job.
cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually was wanting us to maybe like talk about the film a little bit. So, of course, the movie was kind of the big. First of all, it was a huge deal. But secondly, like it was, kind of a big moment for Jennifer Lawrence, who of course is like still a huge movie star. But she had been in stuff before, and in fact, I think she had already won an Oscar, if I remember correctly, for Winter's Bone. At this time, is that right?
I don't think so. I think her first one was Silver Linings, wasn't it?
I think that was her first Oscar. Yes. Let me just check this though.
Maybe she was nominated.
Yes, but I think she did have a
Yeah.
nomination for Winter's Bone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she was definitely already a little bit known, and she was also already in like X-Men First Class before this, which, man, I can't believe they fucking... They probably were like, whoa, I can't believe we bagged her for X-Men. Whew. Before she got like really famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence kind of became an A-lister almost like immediately after this movie came out. Like she became a household name, basically. And of course we saw Josh Hutcherson, who was like a child star, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Bridge to Terabithia, which scarred me as a child.
Tell me about this bridge. Is it in the room with us right now?
It's this like lovely children's film. I don't want to spoil it, but it's fine. It was.
How old is this movie?
It's okay. I was a child when I watched it, and it was marketed as these two best friends. So it's Josh Hutcherson. I can't remember the actress's name, but like they're both bullied and they become friends, and they decide to like go into the woods and they have these like imaginary adventures together. And it's gut wrenching. It's got like one of the most like depressing storylines like I've ever witnessed in a children's film. I highly recommend it.
I might be wrong, but wasn't Josh Hutcherson also in like some very famous like kids TV show like Barney or something?
Let me have a look.
I'm looking through because I'm starting to remember this now. Like early roles. Okay, he was in Zathura. He was on Animal Planet. He was in The Polar Express.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
He was in Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah.
The Polar Express.
Yeah. Let's see here. He was in the movie RV, but yeah, like Bridge to Terabithia was his big thing.
He was in Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh right, he was in Cirque du Freak, the movie they made of that. Nobody. I'm guessing neither of you read those books, right?
No. Oh, I think I
someone to come
started it. Was that the vampire one?
Yeah, the Vampire's Apprentice.
Yeah, I started it because I liked the demon one he did.
I did not like that. It scared me. I like this one because it's funny.
Yeah, the demon one about chess.
Yeah, I don't. Darren Shan is actually a really good writer, and he's capable of writing some really fucking terrifying shit. But The Vampire's Apprentice, like the Cirque du Freak series, I really loved that growing up because it was like light horror, kind of like. I don't think it was similar in tone to Goosebumps, but like probably that level of horror. You know what I mean? So like. I really enjoyed those. Ree, have you found something? I thought I heard you gasp.
Oh, no, nothing from me.
Okay. I thought you discovered some dark secret about Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah, he was in Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's true. I saw him in that. He's rich now.
I should hope so. Sorry, I'm a Five Nights at Freddy's hater. That's a matter for another day.
Oh, are you?
I just did not care for that
That's
movie.
fine. I have zero feelings about it. I did. All I can confirm is that I watched the movie. My review is like about as like medium as it comes. So anyway, but yeah. So the point I was going to make though, the movie was a huge smash hit. Let me see. I had the box office up here. It was like ridiculous. Yeah. So budget of $78 million, $695 million box office worldwide. So. Kind of like an insane, especially for like a new thing. That was kind of an insane pull for this movie. But yeah, like this movie was like immediately a cultural phenomenon.
It was technically an independent as well.
Was it? I thought it was. Wait, Lionsgate didn't do the first movie?
I think they did. It was something that I learned when I was doing film studies in A levels. It somehow counts as an independent.
I'm doing a search for the word independent on this page, and I can't find it.
Oh, maybe not then.
Let's try indie. Well, the thing is that, like, yeah, like, I don't know, maybe it was just, I don't know, I have a hard time believing it would be, like, independent in any real way because, like, Lionsgate distributed it, but also, I mean, it was made by Suzanne Collins, of course, like, she wrote the screenplay, and a personal friend of hers produced it with her production company.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she had, like, full control of the movie and all that, which I think was a good idea. Do you remember many changes they made for the movie? I don't
Yes.
off the top of my head.
They
Yes.
toned down the violence by a
Yes.
A lot. The final, just a few off the top of my head. The sort of final showdown with, is it Kato? That he's called.
Yeah, the career kid.
Yes. So
Kato,
in the book, Katniss and Peter have to spend the entire night hearing his agonizing screams until Katniss is able to will herself to finally look over and end his suffering, basically, because
oh my God,
they are understandably paralyzed with fear because the marts that they release have the faces of the dead tributes. And
oh my God, I forgot about
yes,
that, 'cause they did not do that in the movie.
Because she sees one with Rue's face, and that's the whole thing.
Didn't they like recycle like their? Wasn't they like they used their bodies or something? The actual dead tributes or something?
I think it was something to do with their
Something like
DNA,
that.
was just sort of used with it. I forget exactly the specifics of it, but it was they really
some sci-fi stuff happens.
the book does a fantastic job of communicating that. And this is another thing that went over my head as a kid. I actually at first didn't really take to Katniss as a protagonist because I, in my 13-year-old brain, was like, oh, she's a bit boring. And then I reread it and I'm like, no, she's a heavily traumatized child. She looks at things very literally. But when she's scared, I don't think it's like, she doesn't, obviously, because this is well written, she doesn't just say, I'm scared. You have to look at her behavior.
Whoa, I'm sorry, I'm gonna need like a Netflix style thing where every 5 seconds the characters say out loud how they're feeling in case I'm like
like there's just little things about how she's written where it's like she's quite an unreliable narrator on some of the more emotional things going on because like she's had to become unemotional. But even with that in mind, like how she's really hardened herself because of the life she's had, it takes her the entire night to be able to put Kato out of his misery. Which just shows that, and it really brought home for all she's been through, for all how hardened she's been, for how she's like led her family, how she's killed people. She is still a child. At that point, it all hits her at once. She is a scared child, as she should be allowed to be. So it makes it even more compelling when she's able to put him out of his misery. Like she is really. And Peter definitely isn't able to do that. He's really injured at this point, but also, not as used to this kind of stuff as he is. And that ties into another thing, which I think the books do really well, is how much Katniss wants to protect Peter from becoming like her, from becoming more hardened. I think that's true. Like and that's one thing I really love about their dynamic, which I, again, didn't appreciate back in the day. I thought, oh, they're kind of a boring couple. He doesn't even fight, and it's like, well, actually, that's what's great about him. He represents the light, he represents hope to Katniss. And she kind of doesn't open up and be vulnerable around him because she doesn't know how to let that in. She doesn't, and also she doesn't want to taint him, I'd say. She's very protective by nature. But again, another difference from the film, Peter is left permanently disabled after, and they both are actually. Katniss is deaf in one ear.
Doesn't he lose a leg and he goes deaf or something?
So
No, Katniss goes deaf. Peter loses a leg.
yes,
Okay.
Katniss is deaf in one ear, I believe, from after the first games, and Peter loses an entire leg, or at least like from the knee downwards.
That is true. I forgot about that. Real quickly, do either of you guys have like a limit on how much longer you can keep recording?
No.
I can keep going a little bit longer.
Well, I was gonna say like I feel we've already gone for an hour and we haven't really gotten too far into it. Like I was thinking about just splitting this up into 2 episodes. Would you mind if I like do that and we like record like a second?
No,
bit
it works
now?
for me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, we're gonna head out today. For us, only moments will have passed, but for you, it will have been weeks. What will the world be like? How many new Hunger Games novels will have come out by the time you hear this next episode?
They might not even be able to listen to the second episode. Maybe the internet gets shut off.
God, we can only hope. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the first bit of this, and yeah, we'll be back to continue this. But yeah, this is our. Let me know in the comments what you think about Y.A.pocalypse and how we can improve on doing this as a little side series. And like, yeah, the idea would be that I have rotating guests on here, so like, just, reach out to people who have read X, Y, and Z, like young adult book, and see, hey, you want to jump on and talk about this? So, yeah, nothing too serious, but all right, well, great, thank you guys so much, and we'll be right back. Bzz. That was the sound of the. What kind of Hunger Games sound can we do to like close this? Oh, can you whistle?
I can't whistle.
I can't. Great.
Imagine one of us did the Hunger Games sound when we whistled. Okay. Fuck.